Negotiating for more money. Ready to start negotiating for more money? Going up to your boss and asking for an increase in pay is probably somewhere between doing your taxes and putting the laundry away on your list of favorite things to do. In this video, we will show you the ins and outs of asking for more money and what you need to know to attain the raise you deserve and feel confident talking to your boss, from how much you should ask for to the best time to make your request, and finally score the raise you deserve. Do you deserve a raise? If you are thinking about asking for a raise, there are a few things you need to consider first. How long have you been at the company? It will do you no good to march into your boss's office demanding more money only a month after you've been hired. It takes time to be able to demonstrate your value. If you've recently started a job, you'll want to wait at least 6 months before even thinking about asking for a raise. Most employers are more likely to consider giving you a raise if you've been there for a year or more. What experience and skills do you have that would justify asking for more money? You must be able to demonstrate to your employer your value as a worker. Think about the skills you've developed and the experience you've gained since you first began in your role. Do you have additional responsibilities now from what was originally expected of you? Think about how you've contributed to the success of the company. Lastly, do some research on similar positions in your industry to get an idea of what the market salary is for the kind of work you do. At its essence, a raise is recognition that you are now more valuable than you were when you first joined the team. Timing is everything. You will usually have an annual performance review with your manager. It's at these times that they will be expecting discussions about pay increases, but approaching the subject for the first time during your review may be too late. Budgets have been prepared already by the company where they allocate a certain amount of money for raises, which your boss then has to divide amongst their employees. You'll want to get in about 3 to 4 months in advance for when you start talking to your boss. That way you can present your case for a bigger slice of the pie long before the decision is made. Bonus points if you're asking for a raise after you have completed an important project or exceeded expectations. Ask for what you want and get it. Prepare a mental list of why you deserve a raise. You will need reasons to convince your boss that you are worth what you think you're worth, so offer examples of times that illustrate why your contributions to the team are essential and incredibly valuable. Think about when you showed leadership, took initiative, led projects, and brought opportunities or new clients. Practice your pitch. Prepare what you're going to say and practice your delivery. Anticipate any questions by thinking of examples and organizing data that shows your past performance, outstanding timesheet history showing you've never been late, clients you've brought in, junior team members that you've mentored, and anything else you can think of that can support your reputation as an asset to the organization. Practicing out loud will boost your confidence and reiterate to yourself all the reasons of why you deserve a higher salary. Now it's time to schedule a one-on-one conversation with your boss. When it is time to have the conversation, focus on what you've done, how you've performed in the past, and focus on your potential too. Bring up any and all evidence that proves you're worth what you think you're worth, and remember to be assertive and tactful, calm and confident. This is the time to talk yourself up about all the times you've helped the company and your team thrive. Create a list of responsibilities from when you started at the company and a second list of all the additional things you've taken on since then. You have a lot more responsibility and you're thrilled to take it on, and even more at that, but at the same time, you'd like to be compensated appropriately too. When your boss asks what salary number you have in mind, make sure to absolutely have that number in your head in case they decide to give you a raise on the spot. Don't provide a range when giving your desired salary. It makes you look indecisive and your company will most likely always go for the lower figure. From the research you did before entering the negotiation, you will have already come up with a firm number that is fair, deserving, and lines up with what the current market is paying. It's an even better idea to have 2 numbers in mind, your ideal salary number and a second lower number that you're willing to settle for. Your willing to settle number is what you know you are truly worth based on your research and might be around $5,000 lower than your ideal salary figure. Starting off with the higher number will give you room to negotiate, And if your boss settles on the higher number, then that is a neat little bonus. Congratulations on a successful negotiation. What kind of bump should you expect? Do some market research and find out what employers are paying for some with your credentials and experience. You can't ask for a higher salary if you don't know what others around you are making. Ask around, talk to peers in your industry and people you know who have similar job titles and levels of experience that you do. Resources like Glassdoor and LinkedIn can give you an idea of what the market rate for your work is, and you can even do a quick Google search. Keep in mind that Google might not be as reliable unless you are super specific in your search terms, as salaries can vary a lot by region and area. You will definitely want to use more than one resource to determine your expected salary and calculate an average number that you can reasonably expect. Counteroffers. Threatening to leave your current job unless you get a bigger paycheck is dangerous territory. Walking up to your boss and telling them you got another offer for a lot more money from somewhere else is the wrong approach. Your boss is likely to think you're on your way out the door, and if they do agree to a counteroffer to keep you on board, it's likely to leave a bad taste in their mouth. They will have the impression that you've got one foot out the door and could leave at any moment, and you will probably be excluded from the inner circle and get pushed out. A more tactful way of approaching this subject is to say, "Hey, listen, I got an offer for a lot more money. It was surprising, actually. I'm not going to take it, obviously, because I love working at this company, but I was wondering, could you level with me as to my future prospects here?" It's a non-threatening, non-insulting way to open the conversation with your boss. The tone is completely different. Your boss will want to measure up as opposed to kicking you out the door, which would be the more likely response from the first method. You'll also get a better idea of how much you are currently valued as an employee at your company. A good boss will do what they can to keep you and think of ways to push you ahead. If they're not willing to offer ways to entice you to stay, or they don't care whether you take the other job or not, then it's pretty clear that your value to the company is not high. You're better off taking the other job with the higher salary, because in order to be promoted, you must be valued and appreciated. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen, no matter the effort or time you put in. In most cases, it is better to take the job at the other company instead of asking for a counteroffer at all. Between 75 and 90% of people who accept a counteroffer leave the company within a year anyway. If you're actively looking for better offers elsewhere, then chances are it's not just about the money. Rejection. When negotiating for more money, keep in mind that a new offer might not immediately happen. It probably won't happen. Your manager might need to talk to HR or get back to you at a later date with a decision. It's not the end of the world if you're told "we'll see" or a flat out no. The conversation has just begun. It's ongoing, and you should continue to have it throughout your career instead of just one single time. Follow up with your boss in 2 weeks or a month. There's no point waiting. Keep it fresh in your mind as well as your boss's so it stays on their radar. Be persistent after your initial conversation so they know you're serious about it. Don't be discouraged. Rejection is difficult to accept, but try to respond to it by asking what it is that you can work on to get that raise in the future. If you are at a good company where you are valued, they will be more than happy to coach you and help construct a path to get where you need to be. If they can't give you an answer or they are dismissive, then it's an indication your manager and even the company aren't the greatest and may not be the best place for you to progress in your career. Job switching. Generally, the most effective way of maximizing your income over the years will usually require a company change rather than staying in one place. Switching jobs is the most common path to the best increase in money. Changing jobs would historically lead to a salary 10 to 20% higher than your previous one. Although increases of that size aren't as common as they used to be, it is still more effective than staying at the same organization where companies have a narrow percentage range within which your pay can be boosted. Regardless of whether you decide to switch companies or remain at your current one, you now have the information you need to confidently talk to your boss and negotiate for more money and finally score the pay increase you deserve. That brings us to the end of today's video, negotiating for more money. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and found value in the information. Good luck with your future endeavors, and thanks for watching.